Our story begins with a girl named Shia, who is having a dream that she is confessing her feelings to the boy she has a crush on. Suddenly, in her dream, someone throws a ball at her head and she falls to the ground. As she tries to get up, even more balls are thrown at her. She then wakes up terrified as her mother hits her with a pillow to get her out of bed because she is running late for school. Shia is forced to get up quickly, gets herself ready, and heads off to school. On her way, she stops at the pie shop where she usually eats every day. However, she is surprised to find that a chubby boy has ordered all the food. This boy, named Young, is someone who loves to eat. Shia, wanting some of the food for herself, sits next to him to try and eat with him, but he refuses to share. Seeing this, Shia gets angry with him and calls him a glutton. After that, she gets up to go to school but suddenly trips, causing them both to fall to the ground. They are surprised to find that they have fallen onto an advertisement sign, which is now stuck to their pants and their backs. They try to remove the sign but find that they can't. Because they don't want to be late, they are forced to go to school with the sign stuck to them, walking very close together. As they walk through the school, everyone starts talking about them. Shia tries to hide her face so that no one will see her. Unfortunately, the boy she has a crush on, named Jun, sees her while he is riding his bike, and she becomes incredibly embarrassed. When they finally arrive at school, they have a difficult time entering the principal's office. They then go to the locker room to change their pants, but there is no size available for the chubby boy because he is overweight. Just then, a beautiful student named Hanir enters the locker room. We learn that Shia feels embarrassed because Hanir is her rival in the class. Hanir decides to help the chubby boy by getting him a pair of pants that fit from the basketball team. Young is very impressed by her kindness. He immediately falls in love with her, thanks her, and admires her for her help. On the other hand, Shia is angry with him and tells him that she doesn't want to see his face ever again. She doesn't know that fate will bring them together again very soon. Shia leaves and enters her classroom where she tells her friend all about what happened. Suddenly, the teacher enters with the chubby boy and tells the class that he will be joining them. A new student named Kang, who we also know as Young, is introduced. He appears a bit overweight as he introduces himself to his new classmates. Shia can't believe it. Young is happy to learn that Hanir is in the same class, while he also notices how beautiful she is and looks at her with admiration. The teacher then tells him to sit next to Shia. It's clear that neither of them likes the other at all. However, as soon as Shia finds out that Young is very smart and intelligent, she changes her attitude towards him. She discovers that he always ranks first in his class. Young laughs at her, as he can tell that she has very bad grades and is not particularly smart. Because Shia is not interested in studying at all and her grades in all subjects are very poor, she tries to get close to him. Her plan is to have him help her cheat on exams and also give her his homework. Later on, reality hits Young, and he starts to imagine himself being slimmer and winning Hania's affection. He decides that he's going to play basketball to impress her. During the break time at school, Young goes to eat alone in the cafeteria. Hania sees him and goes to sit with him. He is touched by her kindness and thanks her for her help earlier. He tries to be as nice to her as he can until he learns that she is attracted to students who play basketball. For that reason, he goes to meet Shia and asks for her help to join the basketball team. He has already done her homework to bribe her. Shia is happy with this and agrees to help him. She then prevents one of the team members from going to practice, so there will be an open spot. Young seizes the opportunity and goes straight to the basketball team. The team's captain is named Jun, and he is the same boy that all the girls in the school, including Shia, have a crush on. Young talks to them and asks to join the team. However, the boys on the team laugh at him and tell him he's too chubby to play. Jun also thinks he can't play because he's probably too slow. They decide to give him a tryout anyway. Young shocks everyone. He plays a game and wins by a landslide, surprising everyone on the team. He proves to be a very skilled player, scoring many goals and impressing everyone with his talent. With his skill proven, Jun is forced to accept him onto the team, and Young officially joins. In time, a very important game for the basketball team comes up. We see that all the students are present to watch the match. While the team is playing their first game, Shia tries to escape from class to see her beloved Jun, but the teacher catches her. Shia is given detention, but Young sends her the answers via her mobile phone. Shia completes the task perfectly and gets to see the game. During a break in the match, she goes to give Jun an energy drink she made herself to win his heart. This is confirmed even more when she offers him the drink she made. The strange thing is that Hanir has also prepared a drink for him, so we learn that both girls have a crush on Jun, but he is not interested in them at all. Jun is forced to take Shia's drink so he doesn't hurt her feelings. Shia is happy and feels victorious. The second half of the match begins and she continues to cheer for him, making heart shapes with her hands. She then notices him looking at her and thinks he has fallen in love with her. However, However, the reality is that his stomach hurts from the drink she gave him. Because of it, Jun has to leave the game. With Jun out, Young has to go in as his replacement and decides to use this opportunity to prove himself and make Hania like him. The other team makes fun of him, but he is determined to make them regret it. The second half starts and he is focused. Despite his heavy weight, he is fast and can jump high. He succeeds in scoring many goals and the crowd goes wild, cheering for him. With only 10 seconds left in the match, the team passes him the ball and everyone is counting on him. Shia and Hania are cheering for him, but he gets nervous and is forced to shoot from a distance. When he is about to make the last basket of the game, he is suddenly stopped and falls on top of Shia. He unfortunately misses the shot and they lose the game. Afterwards, Shia walks away sadly, as does Young, who feels like a failure and wishes he were slim. The next day in class, some students insult him, calling him chubby. The morning after the game, Xia is on her way to school, feeling guilty about Jun because he got sick during the match and had to leave because of her. She runs into him by chance and is embarrassed, but he treats her kindly and tells her that he has forgotten about the incident and isn't upset. Of course, this makes Xia very happy because she starts to feel that he likes her. That's why she decides to give him a love letter she had prepared for him for a while. However, when she gets to the classroom, she is shocked to find that a student has found the letter and wants to read it. In another version of events, students see the letter on Young's desk and snatch it away from him. They discover it's a love letter from Xia, and everyone thinks she's in love with him because it was on his desk. But it turns out the letter was actually for Jun, which stabs poor Young's heart. Xia gets angry and tries to take the letter back, but the teacher comes in and takes it, bringing Xia for questioning. The teacher asks her who the letter is for. Xia panics and can't say that she loves Jun. She lies and says it's for Young. When Young finds out what happened, he decides to help her get out of the situation. He goes to the teacher and tells her that Xie does have a crush on him and that the letter is for him because he used to be handsome. Luckily, the teacher believes them, and the matter is resolved. After this, Xia pretends she likes Young, and he keeps her secret that she actually likes Jun. Of course, Xia wants to know who found her letter and caused this problem for her. So, they start an investigation to find out who put the letter on Young's desk. He investigates with Jun in the teacher's office, and they find glitter on the letter. When the principal enters, they disappear from the office. The next day at school, Young tells Xia that he found out who caused her trouble regarding the love letter. It was a female classmate who was jealous of her and took the letter from her bag. He finds evidence against her and they go to this girl and confront her with what she did. Young threatens to report her to the principal if she doesn't apologize. The student is scared by his words, can't deny what she did, and is forced to apologize to Xia in front of the whole class. Xia is impressed by what Young did and is drawn to his kindness. From that moment, their relationship grows stronger and the two become real friends. However, Reem's problems don't end here. The principal summons her to his office and tells her to leave the sports club and focus on her studies because her exam grades are poor. She is devastated to leave the club because she is the president. The principal tells her to either leave it or he'll cancel the club altogether. Xia is at a loss, but then she gets an idea. She goes to talk to Jun and asks him to be the president in her place, but he apologizes, saying he plays basketball and doesn't have time. Xie then challenges him to a boxing or karate match. If she wins, he becomes the president in her place. Jun accepts the challenge. Meanwhile, a pervert is secretly filming Hania while she is dancing. Later, Xia changes her routine by doing a TikTok dance, but suddenly, a man is taking photos of her. Young sees the pervert and confronts him to take the camera, but the pervert hits him and runs away. Young fights the stalker fiercely, but it's Young who ends up injured. He calls Jun to help him and asks them not to tell Xia anything because he doesn't want her to see that he's weak. Jun finds out what happened and goes to check on him. He tells Hania that he knew someone was watching her, which is why he walked her home every day. She is surprised and realizes he has a crush on her. Back at the club, on the day of the match, Reem is ready and waiting for Jun to show up, but he doesn't arrive on time, which means he is withdrawn. Even though she won by default, she is sad because the other students said Jun did it because he saw her as weak. She feels discouraged and leaves the club crying. Young sees her, feels sorry for her, and takes her to a restaurant to cheer her up and spend time with her. As usual, they sit and eat together until Xia notices that Young eats a lot, which is bad for his health. She starts to encourage him, takes his picture, shows it to him, and gives him confidence. She tells him he is handsome, but needs to stop eating so much and lose weight to win Hania's heart. Later on, Xia is sad because she has bad grades, and for the first time, their wounded souls connect in this lonely world. Afterwards, Young eats as if he had been in a desert for 3 straight years. Xia tells him she will help him go on a diet if he helps her get better grades to impress Jun. Young is convinced by her words and agrees. There is now an agreement between them. Xia will help Young lose weight, and he will help her study and get good grades on the exams. From the very next day, they start to implement their agreement. Xia creates a meal plan for him. specifying the number of calories he is allowed to eat per day to lose weight. She also takes him to do exercises and forces him to train to get rid of the fat in his body. On the other hand, Young makes a study schedule for her and makes her study a lot to improve her exam grades. We see him sitting with her to help her study, and it's clear that both of them are taking the matter very seriously. Ken studies with Jin day and night until his brain melts, but Jin gets her revenge on him by making him run until he has no legs left. They continue like this for a long time. She pushes him in his exercises, and he pushes her in her studies. One day, Young is training but sees people playing chess and sits down to play with them. When Xia calls him, he lies and pretends he is jogging. But she sees him, comes up from behind, pulls his ear, and takes him to continue his training against his will. She discovers him and punishes him by hitting him on the backside with a stick. At night, he also forces her to study and keeps an eye on her through a webcam to avoid cheating and to make sure she finishes all her homework. But when he goes to the bathroom, she takes the opportunity to put a teddy bear in her place and goes to rest. She goes to karaoke with her friends, but the teddy bear falls. Young keeps calling her, and when she doesn't answer, he thinks she has fainted and calls an ambulance. When they arrive at the house, they find her dancing and having a singing party, and her trick is discovered. The next day, Young scolds her for what she did. Jin apologizes to Kan. After this, they decide to seriously follow their agreement so that each one can achieve their goal. Xia starts to focus on her studies and attend classes, while Young continues to train and exercise to lose weight until the final exams arrive. We notice that Xia is really focused this time, and is also able to solve the exam with ease. The teacher even suspects her, but then confirms that she is not cheating. This makes Young happy and excited for the exam results. The exams finish and they take a vacation. The days pass, and one time we see Xia browsing the internet when she suddenly finds leaked photos of Hanie dancing online. Although Hania is her rival for June, she decides to stand by her. She goes to meet her and reassures her that she will help. They sit down with Young and June to think of a solution to her problem and catch the person who filmed her. They agree on a plan together. Young says he still sees a pervert photographing girls, so they dress Xia in cute clothes and disguise her as Hania, and she sits in the park to lure the pervert. Young falls more in love with her and feels shy seeing her like this. Their plan succeeds. The pervert photographer and his friend go to film her, while Young, June, and their friends are hiding and chase him. The pervert tries to kidnap Xia. Xia starts to fight them, using her boxing skills, hitting them and breaking their faces. One of them hits Young, but Xia defends him with very loving hugs. As Young looks at her face to kiss her, he discovers they are about to hit her with a bottle, so he protects her by putting his head in its place. Then the police arrive and arrest the perverts, forcing them to delete the photos. The police also bandage Young's entire face, who only thinks about Jin. Hania is touched and thanks Xia for standing by her, and they mend their relationship, agreeing to be friends. After the vacation, they return to school, and it's time for the exam results to be announced. Xia is nervous and scared, but she is surprised to find that she got a perfect score in the subject she was studying. She is overjoyed and can't believe it. But then she discovers that she got bad grades in the rest of the subjects she didn't study for. Everyone laughs at her. She gets sad and goes to sit alone. Young goes to comfort her, but she is still upset. A fight breaks out between them. Xia says his help was useless, and Young replies that he hasn't lost any weight with her diet either. Young tells her that meeting her is the worst thing that ever happened to him. After fighting, Young disappears from her life. She resolves to study during the next vacation to reach her goal, and he also must stop eating and lose weight. The vacation indeed comes, and New Year arrives. Xia starts studying but gets bored and can't continue. She goes to play with her friends and celebrates New Year's with them. She asks her friends if they have seen Young, but they tell her they haven't seen him in a long time. She notices that Young is missing and not responding to her messages and gets worried about him. She can't stop thinking about him. She waits for school to start again to see him. Indeed, the vacation ends and they go back to school. On the first day of the new semester, Young arrives, and all the students are unaware that the biggest surprise is waiting for them. Young appears with a new look, and everyone is shocked when they see him. He has lost an unnatural amount of weight and has become the most handsome boy in the entire school. He enters the classroom and goes to sit next to Xia, who is shocked and can't believe her eyes. She thinks she is dreaming and runs away from him shyly because he succeeded in the challenge while she didn't study as she promised. Young chases her. She thinks he has had plastic surgery, but he tells her it was a diet. When she tries to hit him, he blocks her punch, corners her against the wall, and gets close to her. Xia is mesmerized by his deep eyes, but quickly moves away from his side. He tells her that she lost the challenge and that he is her new house elf, threatening to hit everyone so that she will sit next to him and be his slave. During the break, she wants to go to the club, but the principal stops her, saying she is still not allowed to return until she improves her grades. Shia is sad because she is afraid the club will fall apart without her. June sees her and feels guilty for refusing to be the club president in her place. Later, as she is walking, two girls who admire Young approach her and ask her to deliver gifts to him. Fed up and jealous, Xia tells them that Young lost so much weight because he has a contagious disease and is going to die. She succeeds in driving them away. Therefore, when Young walks by, everyone looks away. He discovers that Xia spoke ill of him, but she tells him she is not afraid of him, even though his muscles now melt her heart. Afterwards, there is a basketball game against the same team from before. Young rejoins the team, and all the students go to watch. The game starts, and the team is behind in points. They feel like they are going to lose. Young has to play in the second half. However, his hands are trembling, as he made a fool of himself last time. This time, he is more focused after losing weight and gaining confidence. He manages to score many goals. However, he finds himself in the same situation with 10 seconds left in the game. But now, when the final shot comes, he looks at his beloved Xia, who gives him strength. He gathers his courage, and this time, he succeeds in scoring a goal in the last second, securing the victory for his team. Everyone celebrates and cheers for him. Sue, or Hania, starts to look at Young with different eyes, which makes Xia jealous. Later, June decides to challenge Xia to a boxing match, promising her that if she can beat him, he will become the club president in her place. To her surprise, Young bets on her. She is surprised by how kind he is, and Young tells her that he has always trusted her, which makes her feel a tickle in her heart. The day of the match arrives, and it begins. Both are skilled in martial arts, but June has the upper hand, hitting her and knocking her to the ground. He asks her to give up, but she refuses. As they are on the ground, they look into each other's eyes with passion. She gathers all her strength, attacks him with a flurry of quick punches, and manages to knock him to the ground. She remembers Young's encouragement, and thanks to him, she becomes stronger and manages to defeat Zan. June is forced to surrender. He is impressed by her strength, and the students start chanting her name. Young goes to congratulate her, and they celebrate together. He brings her many gifts. Xia and Young become closer friends. The next day, they walk together and agree to cooperate so that each can get with the person they have a crush on. Young is going to be class president, but needs a website with photos. So he does a photo shoot with her with flowers as if she were an Instagram influencer. When he retouches the photos, his cheeks turn red as he sees how much more handsome he is. However, Xia convinces herself that he is still ugly on the inside and makes a rather strange face at him. Later, they hold the vote for class president, but Xia discovers that Young's rival cheated, and thanks to her, he manages to become the winner. Young thanks her and teases her as if they were a couple. Sometime after, Xie goes to the principal and asks for permission to participate in the running competition on sports day to get closer to June. But a teacher doesn't let women run in the school marathon. The principal refuses, saying that the competition is for boys only. Xia gets angry and refuses to give up. She writes a petition and distributes it to all the students to force him to approve her request. When the principal finds out, he gets angry. It turns out he dislikes girls and doesn't want them to succeed. He argues with the class teacher because she defends Xia. Young hears him treating her harshly and goes to defend her. He confronts the teacher, even though he could be expelled. The teacher confronts him back. The principal gets angry and decides to bar Young from participating in sports day as well. Young is sad because he wanted to get closer to Hania. Hania thanks him for defending the girls. When he gets home, he keeps practicing how to apologize to her for not being able to participate with her in the organization. The next day, he gathers his courage to go talk to her, but is surprised when she tells him that she is proud of him for standing up for Xia against the principal. Young is touched by her words and thanks her. Thanks to a company, he gets millions of skirts and all the boys wear them in the race as a symbol of protest. On sports day, the rest of the students arrive holding a banner supporting the girls' participation in the running competition. Shida is moved by what they have done and is happy. She and the other girls start chanting that they want to participate. The teacher tells them to take the skirts off while Xia is full of pride for Young's bravery. The principal gathers them and yells at them, But the school president arrives and puts him in his place. He changes the school rules, making boys and girls equal, and agrees to let Xie and the other women participate in the race. Young starts first and runs at a very high speed, but when he reaches the finish line, he feels dizzy and faints. Xia is shocked and worried about him. He is taken to the clinic, and she stays by his side until he wakes up. It turns out what happened to him was because he lost a lot of weight in a short period. He reassures her that he is fine and asks her to leave him and go participate in the competition. The competition starts and Xia starts running, but a group of students try to obstruct her so their classmate can win. Young is forced to leave the clinic, goes to her on his bike, and tells her to use her strength to push them out of her way. Xia decides to listen to him and succeeds in knocking them down, but she trips and hurts her leg, bleeding. She endures the pain and decides to continue running until she gets close to the finish line. She hears her classmates cheering for her and chanting her name. She gathers her courage, runs at full speed, and succeeds in reaching the finish line, winning the competition, but she feels tired and faints. Young and June carry her to the hospital in their arms. Young stays by her side to take care of her until she gets better. He shows her a photo where her legs are visible. Xia wants him to delete the photo, but Young tells her she looks beautiful, and the two playfully fight. The next day, she returns to school, but she hears Hanaya talking to June and asking him to meet after school. She feels jealous and goes to tell Young. They decide to follow them to see what will happen between them. After school, they disguise themselves by putting on wigs and watch them from a distance. They see Hania getting close to June. Both feel jealous and run to stop them, but they are surprised to find that she just wants him to teach her boxing. They feel embarrassed and pretend they met by chance. Ken is also there because he likes Sue. He tells them to form a team and have a double date. He tells them to pretend to be a couple while he and Hanihi fight for June's love. The four of them go out together to an arcade, and each one tries to get closer to the person they have a crush on. But Hanaya sticks to June everywhere. Even when they go to eat, she sits next to him. Xia is so clumsy that when she squeezes her food, it gets on her face, and her wig even falls off. Young chases after her, worried. He touches the wig with disgust, and the two leave the date defeated. Meanwhile, Hania tells June that she wants to go to the same university as him, but June ignores her. Later, Hania texts Young that she wants to meet with him, and he thinks she rejected June and his love is free. But it turns out that the one at the date is June, and it was a trap. So he runs away. Afterwards, they enter military service where they have to work in the fields together, and the two annoy each other the whole time. Xia becomes fond of a chicken and one of its eggs, but at night she returns and discovers that the egg is empty and dead. Xia cries with grief in the rain, and upon arriving home, she discovers she has a fever. The next day, the teacher tells them that Xia has very serious pneumonia, and Young worries about her. Later, Hania tells Young that they should be together for the last days of school so their parents can meet, but he only wants to go see his beloved Xia. When June appears, he brings her homework and tells her he will come every day to help her with her exams. Young buys food for Xia, and when he is about to give it to her, he discovers that June is there, and a burning jealousy pierces his heart. He leaves the food at the door. Later, Young films Hania for a TikTok video, and Hania asks him for a date. But once there, Young discovers that Hania is just using him to make someone jealous and doesn't really love him. Meanwhile, he takes a picture of a sleeping Xia, and when she drools, June wipes it away, but Xia kisses his hand, which heats things up. Then Young decides to help Hania win over June, and he and Xia almost separate. Xia discovers that her parents have decorated her room with Hello Kitty and lies to them, saying she loves it. At school, she wants to talk to Young but can't get close to him because Hania is always near him. She gets annoyed that they seem so friendly and Young doesn't know why she is angry with him. Young tries to make her smile and touch the edge of her soul. In the end, she tells him she's angry because he didn't visit her in the hospital. But Young says that Jun was always with her and he didn't want to get in the way of their relationship. Xia is about to say that she really only loves him, but she suddenly hits her face on a tree. The two make peace, and Young tells her she is his best friend, but Xia makes a vomiting gesture because she thinks it's too cheesy. Later, Jun and Xia make faces together, and when he touches her, Young feels painful jealousy. Later, Xia takes a final exam, and thanks to Young's help, she passes. But the teacher thinks she has cheated and fails her. Xia arrives home crying, and her father even grabs a hammer to hit the teacher, but he still refuses to change the grade. A fed-up Young confronts him, saying that Xia is very intelligent and deserves to pass for her effort. Then Jun and the other classmates also support her, and the teacher leaves the classroom scared. Moreover, the principal fires him from his job for bad behavior. Xia's parents invite Young to eat and tell him he is very handsome, which embarrasses Xia. Her parents thank him for having helped their daughter and for being so kind to her. Everyone starts eating and they sing karaoke like crazy. Then they go up to her room where Young tells her that he is envious of her family since his parents divorced and his mother spent very little time with him. Then, Shia covers his eyes so he can't see the decoration, but the two trip, and their eyes collide like a hurricane of love. They move apart very clumsily and shyly, but upon returning to their homes, they think about being a couple. Then summer arrives, and Young practices to go to university with Hania, while Shia wants to be a painter and also starts working at a taekwondo club where Jun is also present. The two find themselves separated, chasing their dreams, but Hania tells Young that she notices he is different, and it's that he misses Shia. Young discovers that Jun is with her, so he calls her, and to make her jealous, pretends that he is kissing Hania and that they are going to have dinner together. Shia gets angry and says that Jun is also going on a date with her, so they both send each other fake photos and make each other envious, but the reality is that they just want to kiss each other. Later, Jun invites Shia to his parents' wedding, and Young has an idea that he is going to confess his love. Young gets all dressed up in front of the mirror and practices seducing her as if he were a celebrity. Meanwhile, Jun and Shiu go to the hotel where the wedding will be held. Jun gives her a necklace with an alarm system and tells her that her safety is the most important thing to him. After that, Xia laughs with her friend, as it seems Jun likes her. Later, Xia and her friend try on dresses for the wedding, and Jun is mesmerized by the light of her beauty. Jun tells her she is very beautiful, and they take a photo together. Young gets jealous seeing the photo, and for a moment thinks that she is the one getting married, but Xia tells him she is going to be the maid of honor. Still, he is not at ease, and when Jun and Xia are singing karaoke, Young searches for them anxiously. Jun says he doesn't sing well and touches her to show her how to do it better, but she feels his touch as if a volcano of love exploded in his heart. Young interrupts a couple kissing, thinking it was them, and then finds Jun but lies to him, saying he only went to sing because he doesn't want Xia to know that he is so jealous of her that every second he spends away from her is killing him inside. Therefore, when the wedding arrives and Jun and Xia are singing together, Young goes ahead and grabs Xia's hand to sing with her. He looks at her with eternal love, and after the wedding ends, Xia chases him and asks if he came to ruin the wedding. But Young tells her that she's always been the one he loved, as when he was chubby, she also thought of him. But when Xia is about to show her feelings, Jun appears and as Xia walks away, leaving Young's heart empty. He blames the world for all his misfortunes. Xia can't stop thinking about him, so her art teacher breaks her painting and throws her out of the class, where she cries waterfalls of sorrow. Then she goes to a fair and Hania tells Young that Xia hasn't spoken to anyone for days. So he runs to her side, illuminates her soul, gets her a watermelon, and the two confess that they pretended to like Jun and Hania to make the other jealous. For this, they make peace, and he gives her a stuffed dog that he got from the claw machine earlier. The two swing happily, becoming one with their smiles, and chase each other with passion. Later, Xia thanks him for the doll, and as she looks at the light above, she remembers when, as a chubby girl, she opened her heart to him and gave him the encouragement he needed. Because of this, she now tells him, shouting that she will never forget him and that her heart belongs to him. Then the final exams arrive, and Xia manages to pass, but Hania's mother tries to hit her because she blames her for Hania not wanting to do ballet, as she had always pressured her to be a dancer since she was little. But at her house, Hania tells her that she hates ballet, and that she has never taken her feelings into account. Meanwhile, Young says that he has also passed the exams, and the two promise to go to the same university. However, Young's father becomes very ill and the doctor tells him that he has cancer. Therefore, his mother returns to China to take care of him, and Young is left alone at home. So Xia's parents propose that he live at their house so he has company. Young, of course, accepts, packs his bags, and moves into Xia's house, where her parents are very kind to him. The two study for hours in her room, and her father is so nervous that they are secretly kissing that he bothers them all the time and also spies on them. The next day, their friends discover that they have the same shampoo scent and suspect they are a couple, so Young leaves nervously, but Xia finally confesses that they live together. Her friends get excited, but Xia tells them they don't sleep together, although in reality, she would like to. The days pass, and cohabitation becomes more difficult because they have to share a bathroom. At the end of the day, Xia suspects she loves him because when she looks at him, she feels her heart is there. Then Valentine's Day arrives and her friends keep her company, but they soon leave so that the two can have a nice date alone. Shia gets nervous and tells him she doesn't like him, but Young knows she is lying. Later, they have dinner with her parents, and Young receives a video call from his father who tells him that he'll be out of the hospital soon, but the reality is that he has little time left to live, and his mother doesn't want to tell Young. The last exam arrives and everyone studies aloud, so Young puts paper in his ears and then shouts for them to be quiet. But of course, the pressure of the exam is so high that the students start to get acne and lose their hair. Because of this, a boy gives them caffeine gum to study better, but suddenly Shia's stomach hurts and she faints. Young carries her home in his arms and then takes care of her with all the love in the world. But he tells her he has to go home because he has run out of underwear. However, there he discovers his sad mother, and the two go to visit his father as he is very ill, and they get emotional upon seeing each other. The two spend time together, hold hands, and his father tells him that he is proud of him and asks him, please, to never forget him, because watching him grow up is the greatest gift life has given him. Later, Young leaves Shia's house sadly and returns to his mother's. Then, he organizes a camp to lift his spirits, and while they have fun, they promise to be together forever, but Young's heart remains sad. The following days, he has no desire to talk to Shia and is cold to her. Then, the last exam arrives, but the teacher tells him that his father has a problem, so Young runs for him. The doctor tells him that his father is in a coma, and he has to sign a paper to be able to perform a very risky operation. Shia worries about his father, and Young asks her if she has the candy bar that his father gave her that last day he saw him. Shia desperately looks for the candy bar and runs in the rain to deliver that last memory that connects Young to his father's soul. Young shouts that life is not fair, and she holds his hand and stays by his side to give him her strength. But since Young did not finish the exam, he discovers that he will not be able to go to the university. Upon learning this, Shia is not even able to eat, but suddenly Young grabs her arm and gets angry with her, as Shia always knew that his father was in the hospital but did not want to tell him anything so as not to make him sad. He says he hates her, and that as long as he lives, he will never see her eyes again. For this, in her room, she takes out the painting he made of her a long time ago and looks at it as if it were him, and asks for forgiveness. Meanwhile, his mother tries to be kind to Young, but he throws away all the empty gifts she gave him over the years because he only wanted her love, as she was never present in his life. His mother tells him that sometimes love doesn't work out, just as it happened with her and his father. But Young thinks of Shia and how their love will work out, so he gives her a hug and forgives her. However, he still holds a grudge against Shia, and Young eats in solitude, distancing himself from his beloved. Shia takes the dog she gave her and then shows him all the exams she passed thanks to him, but Young rejects her message. Therefore, Shia goes to his house, leaves a note on the door, and heads to the swing where the seed of their love with Young grew. He sees that the word sorry is written on the paper 2,000 times. Young packs his bags and takes the backpack that Shia hand-painted, and then gave to him. But now he uses it to leave her side. She sees him leaving the school. Young's mother tells him to say goodbye to her. We discover that his father finally died, and Shia asks him not to go, as he said he would never be separated from her. But full of tears, he leaves the country, finally breaking her sad heart. Later, Shia reads a note from Young where he apologizes, leaves her all his books so she can get into university, and tells her that this journey of love with her has been the best dream of his life. And then she studies day and night without rest and takes the final exam. The grades come out and she imagines that Young is with her, and upon seeing that she has passed, she runs to a bridge, shouting with happiness because Young would be proud. Then Shia graduates with her friends, and the next day she discovers that she has been robbed and calls the police, who take her statement. Meanwhile, 4 years later, Young returns to his home to stay and sits in the same place where he met Shia. Shia is now an art designer who has graduated from university and fulfilled her dream. Her boss tells her that a man wants her to design his house, and it turns out to be her beloved Young. The manager tells her that an important client will be working with them on a new project, and suddenly, Young enters. He shakes her hand, but Shia is shocked, doesn't know what to do, and leaves very shyly, thinking she is dreaming. She goes to the bathroom and washes her face to make sure. She returns to the meeting, but treats Young coldly, still upset with him, because she hasn't heard from him since he traveled. She puts on makeup as if it were a date with a celebrity, and then they meet to discuss the work. But the boss notices that there is too much tension between them. Shia tells her friends that Young has returned, and they ask her if he is handsome. Shia says no, even though it's a lie, and her friends tell her to make him suffer. Therefore, Xia cancels her work with him, but Young chases her because he wants to work with her. He tries to talk to her after the meeting, but she refuses to listen to him, ignores him, leaves, and walks away. He apologizes for having hurt her, but Xia is still angry and ignores him. Young meets with a friend who tells him that his girlfriend is the police officer from Xia's robbery. She told him that what Xia most wanted to recover was a stuffed dog that meant a lot to her, the same dog that Young got for her and is a symbol of their love. Because of this, he runs to her but finds her drunk. She had gone out for the night and kept drinking to forget, but she sees Young in front of her and thinks she is hallucinating. Xia leans on him, thinking he is her friend, until she discovers it is Young and asks for another chance. But Xia reproaches him for never having spoken to her all this time. Xia falls asleep from exhaustion, and Young carries her in his arms to her bed. He observes that in her graduation photo, she painted his face where he wasn't. His heart lights up, and upon waking up, he tells her that he wants her to decorate his house as it was his father's last wish. Later, he asks her for a date, but Xia leaves quickly and heads to a reunion of former students where she meets Hanyi, who is now an actress. By chance, a movie is being filmed at the school about the lives of students at that time. They are surprised to find that the lead actress is Hania. Hania is filming the scene in which Young said goodbye to Xia, but she can't produce tears. Therefore, Xia takes the opportunity to help and starts to feel everything she felt in that moment, just as Young appears in the distance. She decides to play the role, remembers what happened between them, and succeeds in acting the scene well. Everyone is moved and feels that her emotions are sincere. Xia shouts that she still loves him and that his eyes are the fruit of her life. So Young gives her eternal relief by telling her that he also loves her and wants to spend his whole life with her. He is moved, hugs her, and asks her to marry him. Therefore, everyone applauds, and they finally give each other that sweet kiss that their souls needed to continue living. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.